Angie stared at her laptop and took a deep breath. She stared at the screen for a moment, as if expecting something to change, but nothing did. Her inbox was still full, her phone was still buzzing, and the pressure was still there. "I can't do this anymore," she said quietly. For months, she had been working long hours, dealing with difficult clients, and feeling more exhausted every day. Even when she finished work, she couldn't truly relax. Her mind was always busy, always thinking about the next task, the next email, the next problem. She needed a break, not just a weekend, something more. That night, instead of checking her emails again, she did something different. She opened a travel website and started looking at destinations. Her eyes stopped on one word: Thailand. She had always wanted to go there. She imagined warm air, beautiful beaches, and a completely different way of life. Without giving herself too much time to think, she booked a one-way ticket. 1 month, she whispered. No work, no stress. For the first time in a long time, she felt something close to excitement. The flight was long, but Angie didn't mind. It felt like she was leaving something heavy behind her. When she finally arrived in Bangkok and stepped outside the airport, everything hit her at once: the heat, the noise, and the smell of street food. It was intense, but also strangely exciting. "Tuk-tuk?" a driver asked her with a wide smile. Angie hesitated for a second, then smiled back. "Why not?" she said. As the tuk-tuk moved through the busy streets, she looked around in amazement. The city was full of life. There were colorful markets, temples shining under the sun, and street vendors cooking food right in front of her. Everything felt alive, unpredictable, and new. "This is exactly what I needed," she thought. Over the next few days, Angie explored Bangkok at her own pace. She visited golden temples, walked along the river, and sometimes got lost in small streets filled with shops and local people. At first, it all felt a bit overwhelming, but slowly she began to relax and enjoy it. One afternoon, she sat in a small cafe with a fresh mango juice in her hand. There was no laptop on the table, no notifications, no pressure, just the sound of the city around her. She smiled to herself. "I'm finally switching off." Food quickly became one of her favorite parts of the trip. Everywhere she went, there was something new to try: spicy noodles, fried rice, grilled meat, fresh fruit. At first, she was a little cautious, unsure about what to order, but her curiosity soon took over. One evening, she stopped at a small street food stall and pointed at something she didn't recognize. "What's this?" she asked. The vendor smiled and simply said, "Try." Angie laughed softly and decided to trust him. A few seconds later, she took a bite and was immediately surprised. "It's really good," she said, her eyes widening. The vendor laughed, clearly pleased with her reaction. From that moment on, Angie stopped being afraid of trying new things. After a week in the city, she decided to move on. She traveled south, first by bus, then by ferry, until she finally arrived at a small island. The change was immediate. The noise and energy of Bangkok disappeared, replaced by silence, soft waves, and warm air. The beaches were stunning. White sand stretched along the coast, and the water was a clear, bright turquoise. Palm trees moved gently in the breeze, and everything felt calm and slow. Angie spent her days swimming, reading, and walking along the shore. She woke up early to watch the sunrise and stayed outside in the evening to enjoy the quiet nights. Time seemed to move differently there. One day, she joined a small group of travelers for a boat trip. They visited hidden beaches and went snorkeling in clear blue water. At one point, Angie stopped moving and simply floated on her back, looking up at the sky. There was nothing to think about, nothing to worry about. "This is freedom," she thought. What surprised her most, however, was the people. Everyone seemed relaxed, kind, and open. At a small restaurant near the beach, the owner started talking to her while she was waiting for her food. "First time in Thailand?" he asked. "Yes," Angie replied. He smiled. "You look more relaxed already." Angie laughed. "I think I am." And she realized it was true. One evening, Angie sat on the beach watching the sunset. The sky slowly changed colors, moving from orange to pink and then to a soft purple. The light reflected on the water, and a gentle breeze moved the palm trees. Everything felt peaceful. Still, for the first time in months, Angie felt completely calm. No stress, no pressure, no noise, just the present moment. She didn't want it to end. Later that night, she went to a small beach bar. It was simple but cozy, with soft music and a relaxed atmosphere. She ordered a drink and sat down, enjoying the moment. After a while, she heard a voice. Is this seat taken? She looked up and saw a traveler about her age smiling at her. No, she said. Go ahead. They started talking, first about small things, where they were from, how long they were staying, but soon the conversation became more personal. They talked about travel, about life, and about the reasons that had brought them there. Time passed quickly. At one point, he said something that stayed in her mind. Sometimes you need to get lost to find yourself again. Angie didn't answer immediately. She just looked at him and smiled.